on the Discord. It's all you need to understand.
Wrong. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're on mute. Yeah. Sorry. Nope.
Yeah. If you can't even understand anything,
put yourself on mute.
I don't know.
Put yourself on mute. Put yourself on mute. I'll talk to BMan92 now. BMan92. Now it's your turn. Go ahead and show, because you were laughing earlier. They think flat Earth is kind of funny, right?
Bro, you're just so underdeveloped.
I'm doing Zappa. I'm not talking to you. So if BMan92, if you're able to provide evidence that the Earth is, I'm going to give you both a sporting chance. You guys can do it. I want you to provide evidence to me that the Earth is a globe by any means that you can possibly. Don't ask me about what I believe. Zappa, relax.
How could anyone?
Look, bro, I gave you your 15 minutes and you didn't provide evidence to me.
I don't need
you didn't do it.
Any minutes if you can't understand simple things.
Zappa, you're gonna have to allow me. You're gonna have to allow me to talk to BMan.
You will not understand.
You're gonna have to allow me to talk to BMan. You're gonna have to allow me to talk to BMan. Any more interruptions, I'm gonna server mute you, and I don't want to. Hey, don't interrupt, please. All right, BMan, go ahead.
Yeah.
So, how is the Earth known to be a globe in any way that we can demonstrate? By measurements, by testing?
How is the Earth a globe?
How do we know that it's a globe?
So there's a lot of ways we could tell it's a globe.
Great. Let's get into any way that you can provide evidence.
Not
That's great. I'm glad you think that we live in an advanced society that we can prove things. So now let's go ahead and prove that the Earth is a globe. It's your turn, BMan. Prove to me that it's a globe.
Okay. I would like to start off by saying, I get why you guys question this stuff. I can understand.
Thank you.
That's a good thing. But like the moment you actually think about it for more than 5 minutes, it just falls apart. And
okay.
I'll start off with the whole curvature thing that you guys love so much. It's you can't see the curve standing on the ground. Okay.
Does it look flat?
Yes, it does look flat. Okay, I'll give you that, and that's where you guys are getting that from, obviously. But it's because the planet's fucking huge. I mean, 25,000 miles all around. There's curves there, but it's stretched out, and that's why ships disappear bottom first over the horizon, and why people in Australia will see different stars than people in Northern Ireland. Like you can't explain that on a flat map. Gravity, whatever you want.
Well, let's just talk. I know you want to bring some more points in, and I respect that. But like the other gentleman, I want the evidence, and it sounded like you said boats disappear from the bottom up. I want you to start from where you can actually determine that the Earth is a curved surface, like as it would be if it was a globe. So, because right now, like your experience and my experience locally looks at the Earth and we see a flat Earth. Yes, we can agree on this. But there's a level to where you're saying it's not flat, and I wanna experience or test that claim. So beyond our observations, where we see the Earth looking flat, how can we test to know that the Earth is a globe, BMan? Any way that we can.
You're thinking in this like medieval thing, like.
Thank you for that medieval.
You're thinking this like medieval state of mind.
So what can we do? Tell me what we can do. We're in the technological age. I'll give you that. Maybe I have the medieval mindset. Well, how can we today know it's a globe?
Because we have modern science that you guys love to call pseudoscience.
Like what?
I mean, I'll say NASA, but you'll just say that's fake. I'll say space.
No, I'm not. No, relax. Don't put words in my mouth. Don't put words in my mouth. I won't put words in your mouth.
Okay,
I won't put words. So don't put any in mine. So you said NASA. So that's fine. You said NASA. So what did NASA do to prove it to you? I
mean, there's quite a lot of things. I think they would openly come out and say that that they promote the idea that the Earth is a globe. They actually. So
it's an idea promotion. It's not a method to test. They're just promoting an idea.
Okay, bad choice of words. But
sorry. Rephrase it in a way that you know that I'm. What I'm asking for is the evidence that declares that we can determine the Earth being a globe. How do we determine it from what NASA's showing us or telling us or whatever?
Okay.
How do we do that?
Take the famous blue marble picture, for example. I've heard a few people in this voice chat talk about it a couple times. They say how the clouds are copy and paste it, and yes, the images edit it, and that's because the image is stitched together. There's multiple images taken, and they stitch them together to make the Earth look like that. Because you can't take a fucking picture of the Earth. You can't just take your iPhone out and take a 0.5, take a picture of it. It's not how it works. It's more complicated than that. It's more complex than that, and that's why the image is edited. Because the Earth is simply so large. This all goes back to the Earth being absolutely ginormous. Okay, so that's why us, as the little tiny fucking specks of dust particles that are walking about in the Earth, we observe it as flat on a daily basis. Obviously, there's not just fucking curves in the ocean for us, but because of all the different elements, the gravity, everything.
Okay. The curvature part.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm with you on that. But the part where we're trying to figure out if the surface is curving, is there anything we can do on the surface to find out? I'm asking you, BMan, if you know of any, not just you, but anybody else. Like did somebody do a test on the surface?
I'm the only person I know that's actually interested in this stuff. But like,
no, well, I mean, you've been to school, right? Like, or I don't know. I'm just assuming that.
Yeah.
Anybody in academia have they ever proven this information to you and me and everyone? On the surface, not going up or satellites or anything, but on the surface, can we prove that it's a sphere, a globe?
I would say yes. I mean, there's the common one that we talk about all the time. Ships disappearing bottom first over the horizon, and I know you guys talk a lot about how you see further than you're meant to past the horizon, and I would agree with that. There are certain times of day where there may be conditions in place where you can see past the horizon. It all depends on where you're standing, how tall you are, the light hitting the water at a certain time. Everything is conditional, right? So that's why we can see further past the horizon. But if the Earth were just a flat plane, as you would say it is, well, we would see even fucking further. But we don't. We do see things disappear, and we're looking at it with our own eyes, and not through a fucking camera as well.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, B-Man. I'm sorry, I don't want you to go any farther than that point. The point that you just made right now, that we would see farther if the Earth was flat. What gives you that information to say that? Like, why would you say that?
Why would I say that?
Because we could look. How can I give it to you? Like, all right, so you and me are standing on side by side, just hypothetically, right, next to each other, and we're looking off into the horizon on, let's say, on the shore of a beach, right? We're looking at the water. So, what if the Earth is, like, in my perspective, the Earth is flat, but you're saying it's a globe. But if you think the Earth is flat, what do you think I would be seeing? If flat plane. Because you have an idea. You have an idea of how far you think somebody that thinks the Earth is flat, how far they would see. How far do you think somebody thinking the Earth is flat would see?
Like in terms of miles?
Or, I mean, like far away, or like if the Earth is flat, we should see.
If you think that the Earth is flat, or would
how
far would you see?
Yeah, like if we're standing together side by side on a beach, and I say the Earth is flat, you say it's a globe, but you say I can only see so far because the curve will not allow me to see farther, and I say no, I'm saying the Earth is flat. How far do you think I should be able to see if I'm saying it's flat and you saying it's a globe? Do you think I should see it like exponentially far, like hundreds of miles, or what's the?
Obviously, there has to be a cutoff point, right? I mean,
what would that cutoff point be?
I don't know, but like,
okay,
from my own knowledge, you're not going to be able to see forever. Like if I'm at my local harbour, I won't be able to see, fucking Edinburgh in Scotland. I'll not be able. There are times a day where I'm at my harbour, I can't actually see Scotland. But like, you know what I mean. Like, I'm not going to be able to see very far.
How far away is it? Real quick, I just want to ask, how far away is that be, man? From where you were standing to where Scotland? Can you give me a rough distance? Like, what are we working with here?
Portrush to Scotland distance. I really couldn't tell you. You can just see it in the vaguely.
Maybe I can pull it up to Google Maps or something.
1 second, let me get.
I just want to know like the actual distance that you're looking over, because what you've done essentially is what we're all saying we can all do. So you're covering a specific talking point that we mention all the time in here. That's why it's important. I want to actually get some numbers to it. If you don't mind, I mean, it might be a little painstaking for you, but can you look up the information of where you were and what you saw, like the distance? 1
second. It's Portrush to. Okay, right, 2 seconds.
Take your time, man. We're here 24/7. Meantime, I could fill some air, but talking to new people while you look that up.
Oh, okay. It's not actually Scotland. It's an island off the coast of Scotland, so it's not as.
What is do you know the name of it?
It's not going to be. Hold on.
Well, because, okay, what I'm going to try to do is that everybody who's listening could actually check what you're saying. You know, like the distances between where were you on the beach? Were you on a harbor? Were you?
I was
on the
just
sea.
on
Are we on the seashore?
Oh, hold on. Let me get this straight. 1 second. Because this is just like a childhood memory I have, so I'm trying to actually figure out if it was Scotland I was seeing or if it was like the fucking Isle of Man or something.
I think it's probably the Isle of Man. You're right. I've heard of that before. I've heard of that before.
I live in Northern Ireland, right? So my local beach would be a place called Portrush.
Portrush.
From the beach, it's not.
Let me get the team on this, guys. Can you look up this information along with me while I talk to BMan? So Portrush, is that if I got that correctly from you? Portrush to Isle of Man. What would the distance be between those two? Portrush to Isle of Man.
No, it's
we
not
can do this together. How about that?
The other side of the fucking country. Never mind. I don't know geography.
What part of? Okay, so Northern Ireland, right? We can still.
Portrush.
There must be a landmass that you saw.
Pretty much.
What was the name of it?
I think it was. Okay, it's this place called Islay. It's off the coast of Scotland. It could be that.
How do you? Can you? Sorry, dude. Can you spell it for me, like in the text?
Yeah.
Because you guys have a pretty crazy accent, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. East. He's saying Eastleigh. I think that's EASTLEIGH. Eastleigh.
Oh, he spelled it differently. He spelled it differently.
Okay. Well, that was
it's ISLAY.
Okay.
Thank you, Yoder. So, what was the distance? Okay, well, I'm just going off of this right now. So, let's see. We can pull up Google Maps. See what we got. Let's see. We can do this together. I think it's kind of a cool thing. We can do it together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Miggy. I thought he said Eastleigh. I thought he said Eastleigh.
Let's see. Beautiful country over there, huh? Northern Ireland.
Oh yeah, it's nice, man.
Where are we at? You were at.
It's a beautiful country, Isle of Man, beautiful island, and it's a beautiful Scotland, and it's a beautiful island as well.
We got a couple of things that popped up here, and you could probably say which one. You got Eastleigh View, Port Stewart, Northern Ireland, UK, Eastleigh Court, Castle Rock, Coraline, Eastleigh, Breeze, Moosenden Road. There's a couple of, I don't know what you were close to here.
Okay, where I was a place called Portrush, but Port Stewart's right next to Portrush.
Okay, so let me look up Port Stewart. Ooh, back it up a little bit. Okay, I'm really zoomed in now. Port Stewart. Port Rush. I see it.
Yep.
Port Rush, White Rocks Beach. How about that? Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I would have been on probably East Strand, I think is the name of the beach. So it's just, if you zoom in, you'll see West Strand Beach, and then right on the other side of the town is East Strand Beach.
Okay, we got Portland. I'm gonna butcher these names, dude. Portandu Harbor. What side of this thing were you on? Because there's Ramoor Head.
Oh, Ramoor Head. That's
pretty cool, by the way. It's like a lookout. It's a hiking area. Yeah.
Yeah, Ramoor. Yeah, from Ramoor Head, Lansdowne. That would be
crazy.
where I would be looking at. It's nice.
All right. Where did you make your observation? though? I'm trying to see where I'm gonna put you somewhere here on this.
Yeah. If you look
were you at Port Rush?
Yeah,
you were at Ramoor Head.
Yeah, that's in Port Rush. If you look at Ramoor Head, Lansdowne, if you'll see the image.
Yeah.
Like that's the little bit of rocks where you
that outcropping. What direction were you trying to?
If you look out into the ocean, you can see.
I see stuff, man. Like I don't know. Okay. You know what? What direction were you looking at?
Okay.
I'm gonna
1 sec.
Because if you were looking east, you'd be looking over towards like Shrove, Castle Green, Green Castle Cove. That's a really good place to make an observation, if I do say so.
Yeah. Right, but I know honestly, this is like a really vague childhood memory, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and check. I think that's what I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go do. I'll bring a fucking telescope, binoculars, or something.
No, but that's good. But I just want to know what direction do you think you were looking at? Maybe just give me an indication of which direction.
Let me see.
East or
north?
west? East. Yeah.
I would probably have been looking north.
North.
Yeah, northeast.
What, dude?
Northeast. Northeast.
Northeast?
Yeah.
Bro, we're talking about if you've seen anything, it would have been. Let me see. North.
Yeah, northeast.
What, dude?
Northeast. Northeast.
Northeast?
Yeah.
Bro, we're talking about if you've seen anything, it would have been. Let me see.
Hey guys, I'm as confused as you. I could be talking bullshit right now. I have no idea.
No. You're fine. I think the distance is what's going to help me, like, kind of wrap my head around what you saw. Does anybody have this pulled up on Google Maps? Because I'm looking at some pretty strange, like the distance he would have to be looking. If he saw northeast, Rathlin Island.
Yeah, Rathlin Island's close to us.
You think that's what you saw?
It could have been.
No, I don't.
You can see Scotland from Northern Ireland on a clear day, particularly from the north and east coast. You can, yeah.
So you guys believe in Google Maps?
The narrowest point between the two countries is just 12 miles.
Dude, you were seeing like where Port Ellen is, Scotland, or Lower Killian. Like you were seeing that.
I can't remember exactly if it was that viewing point that I was at, but I know that there are some places in the country that I've been to where in a really clear day I can see
Scotland
quite vaguely in the distance. I can see Scotland.
Let's see here. What's the distance from that place dude? It's a pretty far distance, bro. Let's see.
Yeah. But like again, we're very close to Scotland, man. As I said, like the narrowest distance is 12 miles, which is not a big lot.
No, from where you were at on Eastlake view, the Port Stewart, like right there. Let's see.
Yeah.
That is a far distance from the viewing. Oh, wait a minute. No. Never mind. No, you were closer. Port Rush.
But anyway.
Sorry, and I like that you brought this up actually because
yeah, it's all right.
You saw Scotland. You're saying Scotland's what 12 miles away from?
Yes, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
What's the confirmation on the distance between where he was at Port Rush to Scotland? I thought we put some numbers to this thing.
I don't know how to get that up, how to calculate it.
Here, let me see here. Because you would be seeing Lower Killian. That's what you'd be seeing. Because that's the first the first bit of land that you could possibly see at that distance.
Yeah.
What are you thinking there, Jen? What are we covering here? More than 20 miles?
It's a possibility, yeah.
It's got to be in that range.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
It's like in the 25 mile range. Now you said that there's some days that you sorry that I got really into this, man, but the reason why is because I think long distance observations are the reasons why people in here are flat earthers. They know that the curvature of the earth would be obstructing your view at a distance away. Now, I don't know your elevation. That's another factor contributing to this. So you'd have to tell me specifically where on there, were you on the outcropping? Were you on a lookout? Were you, what's the elevation of the place you were at? Like specific, there's other details involved, but it doesn't.
There's a whole bunch of stuff to it. Like Northern Ireland.
He was a kid at the time.
Yeah, I was a kid at the time. So again, but I can confirm there are some days you can see Scotland. Just depends on where you are in the country, and also the weather conditions, which is also very rare because it's usually raining. But Northern Ireland is a very small country, and we're very close to Scotland. So I do want to emphasize, I don't think even if we can see Scotland in on a clear day, I don't think we're seeing
farther more than we could if the Earth was a flat. Like you're saying, it's possible on a globe, essentially. Is that what you're saying?
It's possible on a globe. That's the thing.
I know, but because
you're seeing like the peaks of like the elevation.
Well, we don't know that though. We don't know that, dude. I'm amount
of curvature in
BMan, I'm actually keen to ask you to. Do you have a way to get there?
Way to get where?
To Islay or Port Rush. Are you able to get to that location? Like, would it cost you a lot of money? Would you be put out if you want to make a trip to this?
Are you talking about Port Rush?
Yeah.
No, it's like a 40-minute drive for me.
Okay. Dude, okay, let's just say we don't settle anything right now in this conversation, but do you think it's possible to do a long distance observation? And okay, I want to just give you something to think about. There is a globe Earth calculator that has been used by many people who say the Earth being a geometric shape would calculate out to be a specific size of a distance away from where the curve of the Earth would obstruct your view, right? So there's like a little slider bar that comes in there, and you can add some values of like distance and elevation, height, and all that good stuff. But there's a few things that I think you would need to jot down. The things you need to jot down would be the elevation, height you're at, wherever you're going to be making your long distance observation, whether it be Port Rush or some other location on the shoreline.
I get the elevation height.
These established information is got from sea level. So you'd say that you'd look up for the elevation of what particular, because I don't know where you're going to wind up being at, right? So wherever you are in the coast, just get the elevation height from somewhere that's already documented they got from sea level. So they'll take sea level information against like the elevation profile, of where you are. So you just get like what's the elevation that Port Rush is, and you get a number back. So you get that number, the elevation you are from wherever you're making your observation. That will give you the elevation you are. You add to that your height. So I don't know how tall you are, but you add that to it, and so you get the exact amount of height you are above sea level. And once you have that information, you're going to look horizontally across the surface, right? Whether you think it's a globe or you realizing it's not, you're going to look horizontally across the water, and you're going to see Scotland again. And once you see that, you're going to punch in some numbers in the Earth curve calculator, which you can look up. There's a few of them. Mainly one that's made by Walter Bislin, who's not a flat earther. Walter Bislin made an Earth curve calculator. You input those values, the elevation, height, your height, is to get a total elevation. And then you're going to look across the distance for Scotland and then figure out the distance between where you're looking at and what you're seeing. So I don't know what landmass you're going to be actually looking at, what specific landmass, because there's a few names that popped up when I was looking at the distance between where you were looking in Scotland. So then you get that information, you get known distance between where you're at to there, and then you start to figure out how much of what you can see is being able to be seen, and take a telescope, take whatever you want, that you can see a long distance, and do this for your if you want to challenge yourself. Now, if you don't, it's up to you. But if you see whatever you see through that telescope, and you notice certain features that you can detail to us about that land, then we'll find out some very specific information about what you should and should not be seeing according to the size of the Earth being a globe and what you can or cannot see. Does that make any sense? Because the Earth has the Earth has a certain size, dude. It's not gonna it is a certain shape, right? So it has a radius, diameter, and circumference, as you already know. So if those values are put into the Earth curve calculator, and you see something that's far exceeding that distance that you should be able to see, then we're building a strong case for flat Earth. Because now we're saying, this can't happen on the Earth being a globe, because the geometric curve of the Earth would obstruct your view from seeing Scotland. It would not allow you, because it's a globe. It's a sphere. So no matter how much you think you could want or may not see it, so the values they need to be known. Right now, that's the important part for you. Get the data, and then input that data into the Earth curve calculator, which, like I said, there's a few of them online.
Okay, yeah. I'll take a look into that.
It's very interesting.
Hang on. Sorry, I've just had a quick look. It's giving me 13 miles from Port Rush to the coast of Scotland. It's 13 miles. Okay, yeah, that's the mileage.
Sounds right. Yeah. That sounds right. All right, 13 miles. We're working with some good numbers here. 13 miles, yeah.
What's that in curvature? It's about 96 feet or something. Drop in curvature. 13 miles.
You can definitely look that up.
It's 112.6 feet. It depending on where you're standing, it's either 13 or 12.
Yeah. That's what I was trying. That's why I was trying to tell you. That's what I was trying to tell you.
But again, that's not that much. That's not much curvature. Like if you take refraction into play, and also like the elevation of Scotland itself, you're going to see Scotland above the horizon.
Yeah, but refraction.
You're not going to see the beach, are you? You're going to see like the.
No. Well, yeah, that's the most interesting part. Here's the thing that what we understand about our long distance observations. I don't know. You probably don't know this, BMan, but we've been doing long distance observations for years now. What we understand with them are there's a lot of contributing factors that cause you to see or not see things in the far distance, and some of the things that cause it is the ambient temperature outside. So the reason why I was asking you to go do it like right around now, is because the temperature outside is getting colder for us in the north, right? Because I live in America, so I'm more in the north than people like in Australia and such. So for us now, making long distance observations are going to be at a most optimal time frame to do them. So making long distance observations when the air is colder outside is better for a more crisp view of the far distance. So, and you can know what I mean because your weatherman will say, hey, visibility today will be great for you guys to see about 11 miles or whatever. So you would probably be able to see Scotland and a little more clearer too on a colder day because the air is not as like turbulent as it would be if it was hot. Does that make any sense? Like the temperature of air is not going to be. So, I mean, you're coming into the really optimal moment to actually go and do this. So I don't know if you're planning to make a trip, and I don't know what type of like binoculars or telescopes you have, but I would say it'd be worth your weight in gold to go and check this out, Ben. And you could actually prove to yourself.
I'll head round there at some point, and then I'll let you guys know whenever I do it.
The time frame would be when it's nice and cold outside. So, bundle up or whatever, but because you can see more clearly through a colder day, and everybody knows that the air is not as turbulent because of the heat. So, favorable times I would say would be right around, let's see, morning time, like when the sun's really barely coming up, so things are nice and cool.
All right.
Because when you do it during midday, that's the most distortion's gonna. So
I'll do that at some point.
Anyway,
moving on.
So now that we just kind of covered this huge point of looking at things at a distance, long distance observations, and the reasons why we know that the Earth does not conform to the geometric shape is because of the fact that we've done these tests. That one I was talking to you right now, I was real thrilled that you actually made a long distance observation. Because these observations all have to fall within a range of tolerance for the Earth being a globe. That means that if the Earth is a globe of the size they say it is, it cannot exceed a certain limit even with refraction. And the idea of refraction that you might have been told, it causes things for us to see that's behind the curve, that's not true. The refraction that you are ascribing to is terrestrial refraction, which is using 7/6R value. And that's it's kind of weird because the refraction value has the radius value, the R value baked into the equation. So the equation, when you work it out, it's going to add a standard refraction, terrestrial refraction to the viewing distance, which still does not give the ability to see things far beyond the exceeding amount of curvature that should be there. So you would have to, I don't know, do some mathematical gymnastics just to come up with the idea that you can see at that distance, which is not what normal ambient temperature outside would only allow you to see a certain far away because of how turbulent the air is based on how the heat and cold are mixing, and not to mention the opaqueness of the air. So there's a lot of things that add to the fact that you can't just say it's refraction.
Okay.
Because the refraction comes in with a lot of its own problems.
I'll take a look into it. I'll tell you that.
I know I'm overloading you right now. I don't want to, but it's exciting when somebody did it
at once. Yeah. But
it is.
I'll take a look into it, and we'll see what we find. Right.
It's kind of weird, but I really want you to just start with the observation and just go out and do it.
Oh yeah,
and we'll work out the details later. You know, like we'll.
I mean, I
figure
don't know
out
if
how...
I'll be able to. I've got university, so I don't know if I'll be able to do it this week. But
yeah, I mean,
I'll find a day where I can head round.
Dude, I think within, hopefully, this snows a lot over there?
Not really. Not this time of year. Maybe December time. Maybe a little bit, but not.
So
not
you
really.
you got time. I mean, before the roads start getting real bad.
Yeah.
Oh, Helioskeptic gave a question.
What if he could see Portrush to American Monument?
That's the monument. You know what I'm saying? That's the monument there. That's on Scotland.
I'll take a look. I mean, I've never seen that before, but I'll take a look.
That's an awesome view, dude. Have you seen that? That's gonna be amazing. Like that view.
I'll go around there. It could be hype. Who knows? We'll see.
All right.
I have one last question before I go because I have to leave soon.
Yeah, go ahead.
Gravity. Okay, the big G. Why? What is your opinions on gravity? Because I know a lot of you say it's not real, or it's not how we think it works, or something like that. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, call it what you want. Something has to be holding everything down. It's what keeps the oceans from floating off, and it's what makes.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. There seems to be something that we can't just say is not there if we're not replacing it with something that should be doing or adhering to the laws of nature. It's what you're basically getting at, right?
Yeah.
If we're removing something that in what you believe is physics that holds things, then what are we replacing it with? If we're just saying we don't know, that's not an answer to something that we understand is like what you would think is physics. Is that correct? Do you want to answer to the?
I'm just saying that there's. You want to call it gravity, whatever you want to call it. I know some people here talk about buoyancy and shit like that, but that's not how physics works. That's not how objects work.
Well, why can't we just examine the claim of what gravity is, right? Gravity is kind of a loaded term. I don't know how much time you have. We'll probably run over your time. Gravity is a loaded term. So it's a cause and effect relationship. And how we understand the interactions with our physical world and how we know what gravity is has been based on partly the reason why we can test things at an average rate of fall. So you pick something up, you drop it, you see something fall down at a certain speed, you can calculate, how fast it falls through the medium of air and then come up with some numbers, right? 9.8 meters per second or however it works out if you're seeing something fall. And the thing is, you're seeing the effect. You're seeing that happen. It's the effect, right? But the cause and effect are something that people would say are married to each other. Like you would say, well, we see the effect, but we're trying to figure out what's causing the effect. This is the part where we say we don't know, where there's a narrative that's been given to you and me and everyone that the reason why there's a cause is because there's time and space being warped and distorted and causing a gravity well, which is Einstein's general relativity. So there has to be an answer that people are giving, which is what you might think is the case, or Newtonian gravitation, whichever one it is. But the idea behind these causes are not explained through a demonstration of how we understand the cause is giving the effect its motion. So
they're also not exclusive to spheres, by the way.
Yeah, so there's a lot about gravity that we're trying to get people to understand what we're saying, what we're not saying. What we are saying is that there is no cause for the effect to be ascribed to the reason why. We would say we don't know. However, mainstream narrative is such that the cause for the effect that you see things, we all agree on the effect. Let me get that out of the way. We all agree you can pick something up and drop it and you can get an average rate at which it falls through the medium of air. That's agreeable, right? Do you agree with me that we can all do this? We can quantify this. And you can test and verify different mediums like water, And so to us, this physical kind of demonstration is real. So we don't say Like, we don't believe in gravity, like the idea that you're saying you see something fall down, little g. Big G is what we disagree, that you're saying that that's what's causing the effect to happen. Now, in any real way, could you tell me, B-Man, that the cause for the effect has been known to be scientifically validated?
The cause of gravity?
Mm-hmm.
Is it validated by science, is what you're saying?
Yes.
I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know how you test it personally. I'm sure there are scientific ways of testing the existence and presence of gravity.
Well, okay, but that's an appeal to, something that you don't have an idea of. How can you say something exists when you can't even tell me how it's been tested? Like, so here's the part. What I want you to realize is that this happens to a lot of minds. A lot of minds get to this point, but they're not able to provide the evidence of what they're saying. So either you or someone else, like someone you think is a scientist or whatever, has tested and verified this cause to be the reason why they see an effect. So we're asking the scientific validation for the cause of the effect.
I mean,
be honest with yourself, B-Man, and us. Be honest with yourself and us. Remember that, because it's all about honesty, right? Whether the truth is what it is, but you're honest with yourself and with us. Don't try to make up a story. Don't try to lie to us. Just be honest. If you don't know, you don't know. It's not a gotcha, brother. We're all in the same boat together. We're learning about the world. And if we don't know something, it's not like you're a medieval person, like you were saying to us earlier. This is the kind of impression people get when we're asking critical questions that should have been discovered already and known, well established by science. So I'm letting you the opportunity to realize this for yourself.
Is that, well, things fall down for a reason. They don't fall up. They don't fall diagonally. That's because something is pulling them down.
What reason?
It's not because of their weight or their buoyancy or any shit like that.
What reason? B-Man, you're avoiding now. This is what
the reason is because something is pulling them down to the center.
Okay, how do you know that? How is that scientifically validated?
Yes.
How?
Because it's been tested for probably hundreds of years now.
How is the validation of something pulling down to the earth been validated? The only thing you know is something falls. I could say that magical fairies are pushing them down. Could you disprove me? No. You can't prove the fact that there's magical fairies. So how do I know something's being pulled down? The cause for the effect. You see it fall. I see it fall. We can calculate the rate of fall and then get an average. How do you know what's causing it being pulled? How did you figure that out? By science.
I guess.
See what I mean? That is what I'm saying. That's all I'm telling you is when you think about it, B-Man, it comes to the point where people have to admit they don't know. This is it right here. It's your moment to admit that. If you're intellectually honest, yeah, I know. If you're intellectually honest, just like we are, the stories that people believe because they want to ascribe some sort of cause to the effect so that their paradigm can stay intact, they'll do it just so long as they keep thinking that the earth is what they've always known it to be. And it's not like you're going back to the medieval times or anything. It's just you're questioning the narrative. That's all.
Okay, well, I have to head out now, but I'll definitely take a look into those things.
Appreciate it, bro.
Come back to you. All right, see you later.
Have a good day, bro.
You too, bye.
or globalists are not our enemies, man. Like they are people that are just like us. They just they're just going through a process. They all believe the same things we did.
Yeah,
so
we're
all the same.
Yeah, that's why I say I'm always quick to tell them that I believed for 48 years.
The question needs to be